Welcome back. Today we have a special guest for you, and our topic is Secrets to Happiness. I am Susan.
I'm Jose.
And I'm Ricky.
So I'm really intrigued by today's topic, Secret to Happiness. I think this is one actually, Jose, you came up with, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was one of my suggestions that I threw out, and I think it's because that's where my head's been recently. I'm really thinking about happiness and the importance of it. How do we get it? How do we define it? And what difference does it really make in our lives?
And how do we keep it amidst all the challenges that are going on in our personal lives as well as the world right now? How do we hold on to that peaceful feeling within our own selves?
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting. I was, in preparing for today's show, I wrote down, so the Harvard did a study of adult development, and they had boiled down all of their information to find out what made people happy in the study. And it boiled down to two things: knowing when to let go and staying connected to others.
Right. That study is actually right now considered to be the longest running latitudinal study on human development. And it's been 80 years in the making. And it's really interesting, the findings and the ability to predict not only the importance of happiness as in terms of the quality of our life, but also how it affects us physically. And it also affected, because now that study has gone on from the original 700 plus people that were in that study. It's gone on to encompass not only the original men that were in the study, but also their wives and about 3,000 of their offspring. And they're seeing the effects that happiness is related to the feeling of well-being and connectedness, and how that mental approach to the way we live, not just the physical health, but the mental health, trickles down. And you're seeing the benefits not only in that first generation, but now coming down another generation, and hopefully will continue on through all the people that are related to that study.
Wow.
Yeah.
The intergenerational part of it is really fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and how the connections seem to be the key to this, even more than other lifestyle changes, healthy eating, diet, exercise. It's about the relational component, and I think that's really interesting and important.
Yeah, so Matthew and I recently went to Norway and Denmark, which if you looked at the UN report, had last year, I think Norway was #1 for the happiness index, the happiest country in the world. And then this year they're #2, Denmark is #3. The #1's Finland. So it was really fascinating to go there because Norway is known for a lot of introverts, if you will. Right? So you would think that there wouldn't be a lot of community because everyone likes to stay in, and they're known for I think it's called hygge, right? So it's coziness in the wintertime because their winters can be very harsh. But when we were there, everyone was out skiing and cross-country skiing. They were taking walks. And then we went to Denmark. Everyone was riding their bicycles. So we went through two very active countries that, despite it being like just above freezing and some days just below freezing, people were still getting out. They were getting exercise, and they were interacting with one another. And that speaks volumes of, even in the harshest conditions, weather conditions, it's being around each other. It's getting moving, getting out of the house, and taking part of life.
And being conscious of your mind and your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another research study by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a cellular biologist, shows that the thoughts that you think affect the hormones that your brain secretes, which affects your wellness and your immunity more than your DNA. So we have some conscious control over this, and it's really important.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, Susan, when you're talking about the difference in those environments and those cultures as opposed to our culture here. We have the more is better. And we want to have more friends, and that's one of the curses that's come with social media is that everybody's concerned about their friend count. I have 1,000 friends, 2,000. We've got 2 million followers, and it's not the quantity of relationships that matter; it's the quality. It's much better to have one or two people that you are very, very entwined with. you have a very deep soul connection with, than to have hundreds of people who are more or less acquaintances. So that's one of the things that did come out of that Harvard study, was that it's the quality of those relationships that really are the determining factors. So there's another study that's been done about hedonic adaptation, and one of the professors that was related to that is also another Harvard professor, Dan Gilbert, and the idea that we kind of have a threshold of happiness that we've developed over the years, and that no matter what happens, when our happiness goes up, it always seems to find its way back down to kind of a null point that we've created. And if it goes down, we have bad things happen. Sometimes it'll swing back up, and we never tend to vary very much unless we choose to create a conscious shift in what our baseline is. So all of these things that we're talking about relationships and the cellular biology, and as we get into some of the deeper concepts of this, it's all about resetting those points and understanding that we don't have to rely on the external circumstances. It's creating a very unique and integrated approach to our happiness that's going to actually create the shifts that will raise our levels of happiness and sustain them.
I think our guest today is going to have so much to share with us about this concept of happiness and touch on so many of the points that we brought up. So our guest is Venerable Bhante Sujatha. And Venerable Bhante Sujatha, when he was 10 years old, he told his parents he would throw himself off a bridge into the river below his childhood home in Sri Lanka if they did not let him become a monk. And for the next 40 years, he has remained certain and determined to live a life dedicated to adding more love into the world and help people heal their wounded minds. So with one set of robes and enough food wrapped up for his first leg of his journey, Bhante left his home country of Sri Lanka. He eventually found his way to America, where he learned a language and culture and recognized the aching desire people have for a more meaningful life. So Bhante had actually, right outside of Chicago in Woodstock, Illinois, created the Blue Lotus Buddhist Temple and Meditation Center, known as a temple that serves thousands of people locally in that community and has helped to grow the Blue Lotus Buddhist Temple across the U.S. And in 2013, Bhante Sujatha was awarded the highest honor within his sect as recognition for the incredible impact he's made spreading Buddhism across America, and was named the Chief Sangha Nayaka of North America. In addition to his wonderful work in spreading loving kindness and meditation, he has lived the example through his humanitarian work, which spans the globe. And recently, he oversaw the refitting of 5 rural hospitals in Sri Lanka using the donations that were raised in America. Bhante, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
And this is a book that I was sharing your bio from, which is Tyler Luque, who's on your board, had written about some of the talks that you have done, which is empty, empty, happy, happy. So.
Perfect. Yeah. So I was just visiting my 89-year-old daddy.
Okay.
It's just today, and I was telling him about this. And so he had a very important question, and he wants to know, are you happy?
Yes. I can say yes. Most of the time I'm happy. So actually I don't have that much things to worrying about because I just need little things to survive. And so my intention is to give more, take less. So that's my practice. Give more, take less, and then I feel happy because then I have less expectation. So then I just do whatever I can do to help people. So whatever I get from people, I just need something to survive. That's it. Yeah. So that's how I'm happy.
Beautiful. Very simple.
Yeah, very
choices.
simple. Yeah, very simple.
I love some of your stories that you use are the abundance we have in the U.S. There was one time you were talking about the number of teas in a cabinet and how to pick which tea, and then there's how much food in a refrigerator and what to eat. Do you feel that having overabundance creates a lack of happiness in people's lives?
So when the people think material thing is the happiness. Most of the people think if I have more, I will be happy. If I have money in the bank, I will be happy. If I have a big house, I will be happy. I think that's what most of people are conditioned to that. So when we do that to people, it's go to generation, parents to parents, children to children, always going to person, then all the people believing the same thing. So easily we can go downstream. Whatever other people do, easily we can go. I think that's not a way to the happiness, right? So if everybody going the same direction, wise person just pause and look and what is happening now. Why everybody going the same direction? And so maybe they are not happy. So there's something missing. So I can see here in this country, especially America, I'm so grateful to be here in this land, but people are so into material things to gain happiness. So now they have more than they need. Now they are confused because they have so many choices. So that's what my tea story. When we go to buy some tea, thousands of tea, then they are thinking maybe this tea and that tea. When I'm in Sri Lanka, if I want to drink tea, just one kind of tea, I had to drink it. Now here, when I go to a house or place or studio or wherever I am, so then they offer me tea. Then they ask, Bhante, what kind of tea do you want? Even a moment, I'm confused too. Why I have 20 kind of tea, I have to pick one. Then I go this and that and keep looking, and so finding something good for me. I know tea are all good, but different brand. And so what happening in the world, when we have more options, business people, they know how to use our weak emotions to make money. Okay, but I'm not neglecting or saying the business people are bad. That's how business runs. So we have to understand that. But as a buyer, how you are going to behave, that's what important. So you can do two things: emotional engagement or mindful engagement. So if you emotionally engage with person or things, we always in trouble, right? Then we need more and more and more. When you engage with mindfully, you are totally fine. You are happy. You just get whatever you want to sustain yourself. I was in Dubai, and after 10 days doing a retreat, and group of women said, let's go for shopping. Okay, and so I said, I'm not a shopping person. I have my things and I'm totally fine. No, just you guys go and enjoy it. Then they said, no, Bhante, let's go, it's fun. They're pushing me so hard and they want to take me. Then they took me to the biggest mall in the Dubai. It's called the Dubai Mall, very fancy and luxurious stuff. After I go to that mall, they said, okay, you have 1 hour to walk around and get whatever you want, we will pay for you. So then I said, I don't want anything, but anyway, I will walk around. Now I'm just walking to the computer store. Right after I go there, my mind going like a crazy, like a storm. I need everything. After 10 days of practicing meditation, okay, I need all of them. But the good thing about it, I didn't fail. Why? My practice worked before then. So then I end of the shopping, I didn't buy anything. But I was telling the story, I need everything. My mind is bigger than Dubai Mall. I want to take whole Dubai Mall to Chicago, still not enough. Right? So, now you can see so many choices there. So people are so confused. What is happening to children in our country right now? Now think about when I go to the houses, 100 of toys, but still they are not happy. Still they are asking more. Mommy, I need that, I need this. Then after one day, it's over. Then they are looking for something else. So I think the word happiness, I know what people talking about, but I really don't like the word happiness. It is commonly used in this country in English language. I think happiness comes with something pleasurable. So when you eat ice cream, you feel happy. When you eat, the chocolate, you feel happy. There is no end. We are keep getting more and more. I really love to use the word content. Content means enough, satisfied. This is enough to survive. This is enough to live my life. When you are in more need, people are in such a fear. Such a fear. I was with a woman in Mexico. She's wonderful. She's happy. Actually, she's doing good. And one day she told me, sometime Bante, when I'm starting to travel, I really want to travel. I'm worrying about money. I'm worrying about money. But same time, I have enough money. But still, I'm worrying about it because what it means, people are thinking this is not enough. Maybe this is not enough for future. So that's why people creating problem when they have more things. When we have like one thing, I have only this cup. So then I just use this cup with respect and lovingly, and I'm okay. I can survive with this cup. I don't want to have 10 cups to survive, right? I remember in Sri Lanka when I was a kid, it's very interesting for me to bring this East and West together. When I was young, I had my own plate at home to eat. Just one plate for me, one plate for my sister, one plate for my mother, one plate for my father. That's it. We have 4 plates. Then every time when I eat, I take my plate. When my mother serves food, that's the only plate she's serving my food. I have 1 cup. So I was happy with that. Now think about here, we have so many. Still people keep buying, not enough. Because they are thinking, bring more things to our life. That means I will be more happy. But we are not.
That's temporary.
Right, that's
happiness.
temporary,
Things
right,
that are
exactly.
outside of ourselves can bring us
Right,
momentary joy.
right.
But what you're speaking of, that contentment,
Right.
that's an inside
Yes,
joy.
that happiness
Yeah.
come understanding I call the inner confidence.
Yes.
That means we put ourselves into practice. So then we experience something beautiful, wisdom inside us. Then we bring that experience to outside. Wow. That's the true happiness.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Bante, because a lot of times people hear someone like you talk about happiness in those terms, and they think, well, that's this wonderful, idealistic, spiritual thing, and where's the evidence of it? And as I was mentioning earlier, Dan Gilbert from Harvard did 2 studies about happiness, and they interestingly enough showed that people were less happy the more choices they were given. So when we have the realization that this is what you have, you tend to be measurably more happy, and it's so wonderful to hear that from both sides. And which leads me actually to a question I wanted to ask you, because a lot of times we talk about happiness, and to me sometimes I think there's a level of confusion where people think about, well, you're saying the feeling of happiness, the dopamine that's going on, all of the chemical things going on in your brain, as opposed to happiness as being a state of being a state of being. So you were saying that you feel it's coming from inside. Is it necessary for people to have any kind of spiritual approach to that, or is this something that you feel is just innately what we are as humans? That
the way I understand this, human beings are original version of the human beings. They are happy. That's how we born into by nature. We born into this world with happiness. But being born into this distracted world with distracted things, now we made our life miserable. Now think about the newborn baby. How happy the newborn baby, right? Just the feed the baby and enjoying baby's life. But think about our life. We try to bring more things. We are more distracted. So then we are more unhappy. That's the biggest problem in the world, distractions. So if you can manage yourself, why people are distracted? They don't know how to use their 5 senses right. This taking care of these 5 senses is the only way to true happiness. Now think about it. Seeing things, hearing things, taste things, listening to people. What we do, we are making a stories. How we are making stories? Looking at somebody, oh, somebody is coming to this place. Oh my God, I don't like this person. Then I feel that tension inside me. Then hear something really bad, I make the tension in it. So it's not good. So we are keep reacting what we experience with our 5 senses. So then we make so many negative stories around it. So if you can taking care of our five senses all the time, we call mindfulness practice, we are totally okay.
So observing but not
Observing,
judging.
Judging, observing, and the same time, when you are observing, if you see some difficulties and challenges, what you have to do, you have to, what people usually do, they hide it. The everyday people, they hide it, then they have fake smile. Right? Now there is a problem, but I don't have to time to taking care of it. Then I hide it under the carpet. Then I bring that fake smile to the face, and I am acting, everything will be fine. But it is not. But one day that problem will come again and again and again and again. So my point, if you want to get the true happiness, it is not a temporary fixing. It is permanent. So how we are going to that permanence to the true happiness, understanding inner self, understanding what exactly happening inside my mind, emotionally, physically, observing my feelings, observing my emotions, observing my sensations. Then I say get into the roots of the problem. What people do, they temporarily cut the middle of the tree, then they think, it's okay now, but it will be growing again. So if you want to attain to the true happiness, you, with your mindfulness practice, with your observation, keep digging to the root. It takes time. It is a process. After you take the root out, nothing to worry.
Yeah, so allowing all your true feelings, being real in integrity, and then coming back to your place of peace.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, as I said this morning, Susan, we are running around like a thirsty dogs.
I love that
Right,
analogy.
because why I say that analogy, once I was in Phoenix, Arizona, I was hiking in the morning, which I love, and so I go early morning hikes. So then I enjoying sunrise, and so while I was sitting on a rock, and I saw there are two dogs, both side of me, right, sitting, but their tongue out, they are going like that. So then I was thinking, how come just dogs? Then I get up and look around, then I saw one man, so that he's the owner. Then these two dogs sitting next to me, and then owner came and gave some water. They have like little cute cups and things, and even dog have many things here in this country. And so then right after they have some water, they were totally fine. They are, I call they are content. They just sit down and relax and enjoying sunrise, right? And so then owner said, let's go. And then dog, they don't want to go. Why? They are so relaxed and content. Then the owner asked, what did you do to my dogs? It was a joke, right? Exactly. I don't know, whatever it is, dog was so relaxed and calm and peaceful. So, that moment I realized exactly myself and all the people in this world, we are running around looking for something like a thirsty dog. Right after we give them a right food, right thing, they will be fine. They calm down.
I was teaching a class just a few days ago, and one of the things we were talking about, because meditation is a tool that people can use in order to peel those layers of onions and sit with your feelings and find contentment. But some people say that they have difficulty meditating. And so what I was talking about was we in this country spend so much time living in fight or flight mode all day long that if you watch nature, the gazelle is grazing, and once the gazelle sees the lion, it runs. And that fight or flight mode is then helping to save its life. But then as soon as the lion is away, the gazelle goes back to its nature of grazing. Everything's calm. Where we operate is we're always running from the lion. And then when we sit in meditation, that's the grazing in our body and our minds don't realize that it's safe.
Exactly.
And so we have to recondition ourselves. Do you see that with people when you're teaching them to meditate?
Time. Yeah, that's what happened to people. You perfectly said that.
So how do you help people when they're looking for a meditation practice? If someone's just starting, right, and they say what you hear a lot probably, I can't meditate, my mind's too busy, right? So what tips do you give them?
And actually, it's very interesting when people looking for happiness come to me. They again, when they are looking for happiness, they are so conditioned what they already know, right? Now here in this country, if you need the mug, go to the store and buy a mug if you have money. If you need some medicine, go to the pharmacy and get the medicine. If you have money, you can get something right away. Our countries is not like that. If you want to buy something, we have to think where I have to go, what place, what time. It's not like here, not comfortable. And so here, when people are unhappy, then they are looking for something deep and profound. They think always, I have money, I can get it. That's what people think. They come to me and said, okay, I want to learn meditation from you. How much you charge? So one lady ran to the temple and she said, oh, last night my friend called me and asked me to go to the temple and meet you and get some happiness. Then she said, I need it right now. Right? I said, I'm not selling it. That's what I said to her. I'm very sorry, I'm not selling it. Then she asked, how I'm going to get it? I said, just wait. Then she's sitting and waiting. She's really, not comfortable. She's really thinking, I go to another room and get the happiness, and here you go. I felt sounds like that. That's what she's looking for, happiness. I think that's the problem here in this country. That's why many people cannot meditate here. Because they have preconditioned. They are thinking,
now.
Right? I call the instant enlightenment. That's what people are looking for. I am always telling people, slowly is holy.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Slowly is holy, because you cannot get meditation or happiness where you buying things from the store. It is a lifetime process. When sometimes people asking, how long it take for me to be happy? Then I say, lifetime. They feel so disappointed. They feel so disappointed. Why? They don't want to do that. They need something quick. That's the biggest problem I can see in the meditation community. Then because of that conditioned mind, their meditation doesn't work. Why? They have preconditioned, the ideas in their mind. So when people come to our center in Chicago, when they come to meditation, I'm always reminding them, whatever you are believing, your ideas, opinions, beliefs, whatever it is, right after you enter the temple, you go to the shoe room, remove your shoes and things. Then leave your ideas and all those things in the shoe room. Don't bring into the sanctuary. So please come to the meditation hall like an open heart, open mind, as an open person. Then you can get it, whatever I say to people. Otherwise, they get into arguments. No, this is the way I want it. But there is no the way you want it. There is just one way to get into that practice.
Yeah, that's so true, and I see it from my perspective as a martial arts instructor. To get any skill takes time and takes effort, and I think that everybody wants happiness, but they don't want to do the work. And I've always been taught from martial arts and from my business coaching and all the other things I've been involved in, that we have to embrace the struggle, embrace the challenge. And when people want an instant fix, they really don't want the thing. It's understanding that it is a lifelong thing, and every day we're going to continually fight with those two parts of our nature that are happy and that are not satisfied. So if you can learn to be satisfied with knowing that you're never truly going to be satisfied, then you become happy.
Right, exactly. And other thing I experienced, Susan, many people come to meditation, they think I'm come to meditation, but they are looking for relaxation. Yeah, when they call, I'm meditating every day, but they are just doing relaxation exercises.
It's called a nap.
Right, nap, exactly, called the nap. I'm always reminding people, when you doing relaxation exercises, in that moment you feel good. But what is the nature of the relaxation? It's temporary. Like a nap. In that moment you feel good. Right after you get up and go and do your daily things, you are the same person. But when you really practicing meditation, I call cultivation or development of your mind or mental culture. If you do that day by day, you understanding what is your problem, where is this problem coming from, what is the root, as I said, digging to the root, then you are figuring out, then you become like an awakened mind, not relaxed mind. So when you get into the relaxed kind of experience, the the bad part of that, then people love to fantasize it. Oh, I feel so good. People are so into how I feel. It's very important here in this country. How I feel. Now I am at this beautiful place. I feel so relaxed, so grateful to her, and so grateful to me or whoever teaching. Then they go home and text message, oh Bante, when I go home, there's a big mess in my home. I'm so mad with my husband. That means there's no connection. Whatever they did here and whatever they do in home.
Does that go back to like expectations? So like with the Harvard study where it says one of the traits of someone who's happy is knowing when to let go.
Right.
It's letting go of what you believe something will look like, feel like, in any instance.
Right,
Even like the concept of tea.
Right.
You all of a sudden after 20 choices you pick the tea and it's a honey chamomile and it doesn't taste like the honey chamomile you remembered.
Right,
And then suddenly you have no appreciation for the tea.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what people are not grateful. Even they have so many options, people are not grateful. People get mad. Once I was at the restaurant eating with a group of people. One lady was so mad. Whatever dish she was ordering, exactly she got that name dish, but it tastes exactly what you said. It's not different. She just dropped that plate on the table. It's kind of food going over the sky, and because she was so mad, then that moment she felt so bad. Then everybody was sitting there, and I said, can you appreciate this food? That's what I said to her. She felt so embarrassed. Then she felt, I feel miserable right now. I said, which is okay. You have to feel that way right now. If you want to feel better, you have to feel the miserable too. That's what I said.
And that when I was talking about the concept of hedonic adaptation, that we have that baseline, the two things that they say that fight that, first is variety. So it's changing because we get into a routine, which routines are great, but people continue to live their life the same way, so things will never change. So you have to have variety. But the other one is appreciation.
Yes.
And that as soon as we start to use appreciation and gratitude, we raise our level of
Right,
happiness.
exactly. And also the other biggest problem here in the American society, people don't know what is happening out of America, most of people. Because we have everything here. Some people living in Illinois, they never been to Chicago because they don't want to go to Chicago. Why? They have everything in their hometown. So if they don't know what is happening in Chicago, how they know what is happening in South Africa or African countries or in Sri Lanka or India? They don't have any idea. Why I feel good about my life now? Because I experience different lifestyle, different part of the world in Sri Lanka, India, America, South America, wherever I travel. I always opening my eyes to looking at those people, what is going. I was in Lima, Peru, Lima. It's very interesting because the word you use, observation, observing and making realization. I was sitting there, a group of my students went to doing some shopping. I said, I'm not interested. I was sitting outside in a sunny day. I just sitting and waiting and waiting. Then I saw across the road, there was a man sitting under umbrella making shoes, shoemaker. Okay, it is not a shop, but outside, roadside. So I was keep looking at that person. It's a sunny, hot day. Then I felt little compassion towards him. I really felt him. So then I thought I want to give him some money. So then Michael, he was with me, and so he's the one who handled the money that day. And right after Michael came out, I said, Michael, I want to give some money to that shoemaker. He right away he asked, why? It sounds like he doesn't want to give money, right? So he's American, and so I said, no questions. I want to give some money. Then right away he realized when I, put that stress on that I want to give. Then he asked, how much you want to give? Then I said, maybe $20 I want to give. So then all the other students came around and asked, what is the conversation going on? Then I said, I want to give some money to that shoemaker. I don't know why. I really feel Then I asked them, do you want to join with me? Right? So then everybody, the hat collection, and we made like a 60 to 80 bucks, right? Then I walk, into that person. There's a person who speaks his language. Then I asked a couple of questions, what are you doing? Then he said, I work all day today, but I didn't make any money. And then he said, I have 3 children. I feel, even I feel so emotional when I say that. I feel I have 3 children. I don't have money to bring food home. Then I said, you have a good surprise today. So we just hand over money. Then he is kind of a treasure for him, have 80 bucks. Then I can see all the tears. Now think about, think about that kind of experience. We have to feel, we have to appreciate what we have. Then we feel connected with other people. That gratitude. Now we have so many things here. We have to teach our children, our people here in this country to be grateful. So I was in a, one year I was in a Thanksgiving dinner, okay? And everybody grateful for, the Thanksgiving table. Everybody asked, something to be grateful. Everybody is so sweet and talking about, I'm grateful for my mom, I'm grateful for my dad, I'm grateful for the nature and, water and all those things. I felt how wonderful these people are. So then after an hour later, we get up from the dining table. I was shocked. Whatever they talk, just gone, nothing there. Right after they come to their normal life, the word they talk about the gratitude, I didn't see it at all. So then they were, we are so grateful to the nature, right? Now everybody's drinking and, the beer and all those things. I can see no recycling, right? But they are so grateful verbally for the nature, but no recycling. Then I was thinking, people are so good to use beautiful, loving words. I think we all are good with that. But in real life, we don't do it.
And gratitude needs to be a daily practice,
Right,
not once a
exactly,
year on
exactly.
Thanksgiving.
I'm always telling, loving kindness is not just one action in this moment. Loving kindness is a lifelong practice. Every second, every minute, every moment, every smile, every look is loving kindness.
And see, I think this goes back to even like in Buddhist terms, Sangha, right? Your community, and how that can be a key to happiness. I think it's not only just having your Sangha, people to hold you accountable, remind you, and people to be your cheerleaders, but it's also these reminder from external circumstances that remind us. I know for like my husband and I, when we go to we've gone to India and other third world countries, and it's very different, but we come back home so grateful for what we have here, because we can drink water out of the tap, and dogs are very well cared for, and children are well cared for. It's a very different dynamic, and so when you start to see how wonderful, especially in this country, we have it, I think that it provides you more of an opportunity to have that gratitude. But like you said, it doesn't mean that you have to go to another country. You can go down to the city where you live, or just interact with people outside of social media. And once you hear people's stories, because human beings love to tell stories, and you see other people suffering, there's an opportunity to provide compassion, and then there's an opportunity for gratitude for what you do have.
Right, exactly. Now think about if you go to like some, the south side of the Chicago, and lots of homeless people. Lots of homeless people, they don't have anything. I don't know what happened to their life, but anyway, lots of poor people. So as you said, if you go to our own town, you can see the people, how they live. Then we can be grateful. So I think, the problem we have to explain to people what is true meditation practice, what is the key to the happiness, not to have things or people in life to make your life happy. So when you're really meditating, what will happen? You stand tall. It doesn't matter. This whole world is going crazy and on fire. It doesn't matter for you. But still you are tall and strong. Then you can help other people. So that's what I'm always suggesting. Before you go and help the world, please help yourself. Then no need to work hard for the world. Just sit there and smiling. Then people feel that good energy and good vibe. Then all people come to you and asking some help.
I have a beautiful quote on the classroom wall here that says, "Peace, it doesn't mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those
Right,
things
exactly.
and still be calm in your
Right,
heart,
heart, yes,
so that you
beautiful.
can hold that center
Right, exactly.
and
Yeah,
share
how
that
beautiful it is,
energy.
right?
Yeah, it is.
So to close, Ricky had a perfect.
Well, yes, we would love if you would honor us by sharing
Uh-huh.
a loving kindness meditation with us all.
Okay, so I have to guide one? Or?
For like a brief one.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, we can do that. So,
Beautiful.
okay,
Thank
thank
you so
you,
much.
thank you. We can close our eyes. Take few deep, long breaths and relax your whole body. Now send your loving thoughts towards yourself, thinking, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Understand the meaning of each word clearly and deeply, then repeat it to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. If you know how to love yourself, it is much easier for you to love others. In this moment, please understand the beauty of your own life and learn how to respect your life, appreciate yourself, see the beauty of your life. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Having loving motivation towards yourself, now slowly send your loving thoughts towards whole world. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Different people, different parts of the world, different countries. In this moment, so many people are in misery, without food, without water. Children are dying in wars. Children are dying without medicine or without water. Be grateful the opportunities we all have here in this country. Appreciating what you have, send your loving thoughts towards whole world. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now bring your palms together close to your heart. May peace be with you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Thank you very much. Please open your eyes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So if you want to learn more about Bhante, here is once again a book from Tyler Luque, Empty, Empty, Happy, Happy. There is another book also called The Wish, My Wish.
Yeah.
And then you can go to Blue Lotus Buddhist Temple.org.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.